change your mind.
You require my assistance? Adingo! We're gonna be rich.
Hello and welcome everybody to Friday Night Fights. We are in the semifinals. I am joined today by the Big Ted and Saku as always. Say hello, guys. How you guys feeling tonight?
Hello, I'm hyped.
Oh my God, that was great.
We are pretty hyped at the same time, it seems.
Yeah, this is definitely a night to be hyped. We have two great matches, one in Hero, one in Legacy, coming up. First, we have at 9, just in a short couple of minutes here, we have the Hero Series semifinals of the Cult versus Notorious B.I.G.'s. And it's Itachi versus Donde, the very fiery rivalry that I don't know if you're in the Discord or not, but if you have been, you've been seeing a lot of posts about this rivalry, and I'm excited to see how this plays out. The season for Donde has been incredible, 8-1. And Itachi, not a slouch either, 5-3 for the season. And this match could actually determine the which team moves on to the finals. If Itachi manages to get a 3-0 or a 3-1, I believe the Cult move on and take down the big boys in the BIGs who have been dominating the whole season. So definitely an exciting match. What are you guys thinking about this one?
Yeah, obviously I have a little more personal
Yeah.
interest in this one, but yeah, no, I'm winning. Or I'm excited. Sorry, it's been a long day, but no, yeah, I'm just excited for this match. It's like one of the biggest blood rivalries in THL history, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
just gonna say it's pretty fun for Itachi and Donde doing some friendly jibber jabber in the back. So
Yeah,
Some good banter.
And I was gonna say like there's not really too many bigger stages than semifinals for one team to potentially clinch than to have a rivalry match like this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then let's not forget the match coming up after that. At 10-ish, we'll have the Legacy Series semifinals. Dad Legend versus the Web Boys. Yellow Dart against JR Juggerlaw. I think another smaller rivalry, but still a rivalry, at least from what I've heard from Yellow Dart. According to JR, it's a rivalry, and according to Yellow Dart, it's they played some games and Yellow Dart won them. So at least that's his take of it, and we'll see if that continues tonight. The season for both of them has not been spectacular. 3-6 for Yellow Dart, 3-5 for JR. But I think Yellow Dart coming into his own here in the playoffs, getting a big win last week, or as DeSharma would say, a huge win. And definitely a match that is going to be very important for determining the finalist in the Legacy Series as well. So stick around for that one. But first, we have the match that we were hyping up earlier, the Itachi versus Donde match. Let's take a look at the classes here. To start, we have for Donde, we have Hunter, Rogue, Shaman, and Warrior. And for Itachi, we have Hunter, Priest, Rogue, Shaman. So it does look like it's just that Priest versus the Warrior difference there. So we'll see what they kind of come out with here and how they're feeling.
Yeah, I definitely say on paper I like Itachi's lineup better, just because I personally believe Priest is one of the stronger classes at the moment, and it seems like a bit of an interesting choice to not go with it, unless of course you're trying to counter something.
Yeah, no, I agree with that there. I do think it's a very powerful class, but the Warrior bring not too bad into it, and also a lot of the stuff that Donde has brought can beat that Priest, especially he has that decision if he wants to go combo or if he wants to go Res Priest. And if he goes combo, he can get beat up by Tempo Rogue, by Highlander Hunter, by the Shaman, by even an aggro warrior, or N'Zoth warrior can also get there. So there's a risk there. Obviously, the combo priest can high roll, and then if you bring Res Priest, that warrior sometimes really can get there, and shaman as well, and then if you bring something spicy like N'Zoth Rogue,
Yeah.
that can also get there. So definitely options to target it if he expects something specific here from Itachi. But on the other side, with Aggro Warrior still being a deck, and it's still a viable deck, it's hard to kind of guess if you're playing against a controller and aggro deck, and sometimes if you guess wrong, it can really backfire.
Oh, absolutely.
So what do you guys think the bands are going to be?
Shaman.
Shaman.
it's just the easy ban right now. It's a very powerful deck. There are decks that do well into it sometimes, but the thing is, a lot of the time, you don't want to bank on them not having a pair of cards on turn 3 or 4 that could just determine the game if they get a really good roll on their hair evolves, or get hair flesh shaper evolve, like crazy stuff like that. A lot of decks just can't deal with it, and it sometimes comes down to that. Oh wow! So we do have bans coming in.
Wow.
I was trying to get
Okay.
some attention there in chat. So
Yeah, you got my attention.
Absolutely.
so
Oh, man.
the bans are going to be Donde's banning Itachi's priest, and Itachi's banning shaman. Sorry,
Shaman.
Wow.
shaman.
So that's going to be very interesting, actually. Donde opting not to ban the shaman. Maybe he feels like he has a deck that can really beat up either shaman, and is not as worried about it, just running away with the game. But it's tough. I mean, I'm looking at the stats right now, and Evolve Shaman looks pretty good into everything but N'Zoth Warrior. And even N'Zoth Warrior, if it doesn't have that early removal and you just have that board, it can get there. Or you get one board to stick, you have those Bloodlusts. And,
Yeah.
he's also taking a risk that, what if he brings Quest Shaman? Like, Quest Shaman has pretty good matchups into everything, beats the N'Zoth Warrior, and it's not too bad into those other, poor matchups like the Rogue. It's not that bad, and Hunter as well. Like, it's still almost the same as the Evolved Shaman, and it has that same broken turn 4. So it's going to be interesting to see how he navigates this Shaman. But I'm assuming he has something in mind for it if he's willing to leave it up. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that Shaman come out first for Itachi. And just say, go for it. Let's see what you got. Let's see if you
Yeah.
can take this big boy down.
Definitely seems like Donde is saying, you know what, I need to come up big. Let's throw it all to the wall. Let's see what we can get done here.
All right, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Both guys are ready to go, so I'll get them started right now.
All right.
Perfect.
And what I believe Itachi is going to be on the bottom, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, taking this kind of risk here in the at least in my mind, taking a risk like this in the semifinals, when a loss here can lose the week for your team, that's scary. That's
Yeah.
really scary. So I will say I looked back a couple weeks, and Donde's only loss was when he didn't ban the shaman. He banned a paladin that week. And I'm looking back at every other week that after the buffs and everything, and it was pretty much that throughout. Not buffs, whatever the wild cards, but
The rotation.
the rotation.
thing,
So it was pretty much just shaman bans, except for that one week that he lost. So, coming up with an interesting strategy here, and we'll see if it works out. I'm excited to see what he has in store here.
All right. It looks like we're into it.
All right. All right. Hearthstone, let me spec here.
Watch your back.
Hating the spectate buttons lately, but
Yeah, it like jumps around on you. Like
Yeah.
I'll click spectate on somebody, and then
Yeah.
it jumps to like 2 people below them. Did you mean this guy? No, I didn't.
Looks like we're gonna have Itachi starting off with his Hunter versus Donde's Rogue.
All right. So not really wanting to bring out the shaman yet. Maybe anticipating sort of Donde bringing out the shaman counter to start. And Rogue is one of those decks that can definitely beat it. it's not consistent. I mean, Shaman still does his things, but cards like Sap, and then you just hit him in the face, and can really get away
Yeah.
with dealing with those big Mogu flesh shapers that you mutate or evolve, and then Vendetta and stuff like that can deal with a lot of those 4 drops you get off the hairs. So um,
Bit of an awkward hand by both players here.
yeah,
Not
this
Yeah.
is
really.
a
It's lumpy.
really heavy hand here. And
Yeah.
Wing Blast tech.
Wing
okay.
Blast. Okay, Itachi.
Greetings,
That's-
traveler.
Yeah, we all know Itachi puts in a lot of prep time, and
The
that's
pleasure is mine.
definitely card that he sees that he likes. Very unfortunate for Itachi that he does not have a secret to play on turn 2, especially when he is holding that hyena.
Yeah, that's definitely something he's going to want to get online if he can. One of the worst feelings is having that hyena and not having a secret to use with it. But he does find that secret, so
And that's
we
a
probably will be seeing a combination of those cards either or turn 6 or depending on what he draws might choose something else.
like probably just going to be a Blink Fox Vendetta here by Donde.
Yeah, really clean removal here for this.
Absolutely.
Tiamat. So really, I mean, going pretty slowly here. Snake Trap will not get activated by anything here if he wants to go that route and just hero power. That feels a little passive, but
I don't
I don't
better.
see any better options. He can Wing
Yeah.
Blast for 4 and kill the Blink Fox and kind of take off a little bit of the pressure, but you really I think want to save that for things like the questing
Yeah.
and stuff like that if it doesn't get too big.
I think he's just going to develop a Desert Spear.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah, I don't mind this.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
yeah.
is great. Yeah, he's able to develop the spear and the Wing Blast. So,
I like this play.
yeah. So yeah, he's saying I don't want to take that 3, and I agree with him there. And
Absolutely.
probably developing the weapon is also pretty nice to do. It doesn't deal with this 1/3 per se, but you don't mind, trading off a 1/1 for that removal there, and getting the weapon online here.
And just like at the end of the day, the Hunter is probably going to win in the late game unless the Rogue does run that Chef Nomi. So
Yeah.
So you're pretty happy just to say, you know what, let's just slow this down a bit. Let's take that 3 off
Mhm.
my face.
Yeah, so Donde's got that little bit of the rogue problem. He's got a lot of options, none of them too exciting, but a lot of them can do a little bit. Interesting options here. I mean, Cold Blood, if he wants to start pushing some more damage, does not look too bad.
Choose soon.
Choosing to taunt up the 1/3.
Yeah. Tachi Ziliax. That's definitely going to come in handy later.
I mean, it could even come down now. It lets him trade into this 1/5 and
Yeah.
clear up the taunt, heal a little bit, and next turn he's got that Snake Trap Hyena Alpha
True.
turn into Tiamat the following turn. So, these turns are starting to figure themselves out. He's able to get the 3 heal from this by swinging first.
We will probably see a backstab come out of Donde here.
Yeah, and with that questing, I wouldn't be surprised to see questing, backstab, even like Cold Blood, or just play a couple lackeys,
Yeah.
or just the lackey and maybe like Shadow Step or
Maybe
something.
even a tracking too.
Yeah, or tracking. He's got a lot of options here. Definitely this is the start. Then from there he can sort of decide: does he want to push the damage and have whatever he gives the Cold Blood to die to this weapon, or does he want to start maybe he could go Kobold Lackey, Shadow Step Lackey, tracking. He's got a lot of options, so maybe even consider Evil Cable Rat, Shadow Stepping that maybe, or taunting this up to protect his.
Yeah, he's gonna, or he might just taunt up the
something else to
Event-
protect his
yeah. Adventure.
Questing.
his questing.
This is not looking good for Itachi.
Yeah, there's definitely a big boy, and he has no answer to it right now.
I can't
Anywhere
even think of too much
inside.
in his deck. That would
Yeah, I
answer
mean-
it. And he's gonna find an Eviscerate too.
Deadly shot if he's lucky. Very lucky.
Flare not doing a whole heck of a lot against a Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has that for the mirror, so that may come in handy. Should he see the, if he is able to win this and get the mirror, but
That's all I can be promising right now.
yeah, definitely not the card you want to see here. Maybe there's a world where he's able to clear this with Siamat next turn with like Rush Wind Fury or something to get through a taunt and hit the adventure.
But
Not
he's
too
gonna
many
need
great
some-
sap targets here, but maybe he just thinks getting rid of a 3/3 and clearing up the rest of the board or just going face is worth it. He doesn't really want to give him more 2/2s, but it does let him activate his Cold Blood and his Eviscerate for 8 damage this turn and put him at 5 health. Choosing not to, just holding back.
He is gonna trigger the snakes here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little surprised by this, actually.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Choose Sue.
Like, you had the initiative. You want to just go face, probably. So maybe we are going to see a sap come out just to activate one of these, but...
2/2 probably gonna eviscerate the 3/3.
Eviscerate the 3/3 or Cold Blood the taunt? Interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. I figured he would have done the questing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that sequence, but he's got 4 in hand, so unless he gets like a good clear here, which the Siamat could provide actually.
Yeah, he can full clear with the same.
He can full clear with the Siamat Rush Wind Fury, so I think that's what we're gonna see. He is, he could actually, rush Divine Shield and keep a Siamat alive.
I don't know if he can afford that though.
I mean,
Or
he
no,
still
no, yeah,
clears,
yeah,
right?
you're
You
right.
just
Yeah, you're
rush
right.
Divine
Yeah.
Shield and
Never
you
mind.
keep the Siamat alive. You trade the 6/6, the 3/3, and the 2/1/1s, and that's exactly what he's going to do. And now you've got a 6/6. You are looking at, what we see in hand. He's got the Eviscerate, so you're very, very low. With
Splash Burglar could.
most of your big heal, your Ziliax was already used. And this baited arrow, you can. That's 3 damage plus 4. That's gonna be lethal next
Gonna
turn
be
with
lethal
that.
next turn.
With that Eviscerate.
Hachi's gonna.
I don't think there's anything in the deck that can actually heal him.
Zephyr.
Life Drinker if he runs it, but
Yeah, and he already used the
the
Ziliax.
Ziliax, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's going to be game 1. Almost able to stabilize Itachi, but
Yeah,
that
just
Cold
a
Blood
little.
just putting enough work in, and that questing adventure. So, yeah, that's going to be game 1 to Donde. I wonder what sort of deck Itachi has to answer this rogue with that priest, gone.
Priest is banned. Yeah, he's probably either gonna have he has his shaman and rogue himself left. So, biggest question is, does he trust his deck to beat Donde's in the mirror, or does he want to try to get the shaman? For real.
Yeah, it depends on his mirror tech. I mean, that looked like the type of list that you might see in the mirror anyway for the rogue. A lot of those. I mean, it's pretty uniform, but I didn't see like no me or stuff like that. So it could be in the deck, but it might be pretty well suited. So he's saying, I'm gonna just do shaman things and let's hope we can get there.
Yeah, I can't blame him for that. That's a very, very legitimate strategy. We're gonna
And
see
this
that-
looks like Evolve Shaman.
Yeah, really good hand from Donde here. Oh man, this is a good hand from Donde.
Yeah, not quite as good from Itachi. Those Flesh Shapers are really good into the rogue, but you really want to hit those with Mutate, Evolve, and dodge the saps. Like, we don't see a sap yet in the hand, so it is possible that an 8-drop is going to stick for a couple turns.
Interesting that he does have his Lightning Storm attack in here.
Yeah, I've seen that in a couple with the Lightning Storms. It's good in into Rogue.
Yeah.
You see boards like this. It's good into the mirror, but he was banning the Shaman. So and we do hit the Mutate. So we may see a Flesh Shaper coming out soon with a Mutate, and just hoping that you dodge the sap. We'll see. Still a couple of turns away, and not too much pressure from Donde just yet. So in no rush, I
Definitely
think.
not.
Interesting. Does he choose to play this? Yeah, I was gonna say, does he choose to play this because it does activate the
man.
Mogu mutate, which would not have been active otherwise.
Oh man.
So, yeah, maybe
getting
choosing to
crazy.
do this instead. I mean, he doesn't really have ways to deal with that as the as the rogue, and this kind of guarantees you can 50-50 draw and evolve here,
Yeah.
which would actually be way better into the potential saps you're thinking about. Betrayal, though, is an interesting card here that he could potentially use to kill off some of these.
I mean, any of these options work to kill off an 8-drop.
Yeah, walk the plank as well for sure. I was just looking at Betrayal because it's cheaper and it combos
Yeah.
with stuff, but
They're definitely.
they all have answers to one big thing at least.
But we're gonna see Itachi probably gonna have 2 big things.
Yeah.
Or I mean, like 50-50 if he draws the evolve.
Mhm.
It's like he's just gonna go with the walk the plank.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the safer options. And yeah, these flesh shapers are definitely on the line. So if he has 2 chances here if he wants to draw the evolve. So he starts off with a coin.
Oh my god.
Sees what he gets. Yeah, I guess you can play the
You can play
Spear of the Frog
if he wants to and draw
if he
2.
wants to. So he's choosing to double trade first. Oh, he's
No,
going Lightning Storm.
Okay.
Lightning.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, and then now he can coin. Hopefully find the evolve. Does not. He can
Evolve
still
kind of
mutate here. We'll get the Soul of the Murlocs. Yeah, I was actually gonna say maybe you do the mutate first because you could still draw the evolve, but
Yeah. I agree.
didn't matter. He drew the voltaic, the second voltaic burst. So
And this walk the plank is looking very good.
yeah, I mean
Very,
it's
very
killing
good.
the 312. It is your turn though. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
you are able to play a Kobold Lackey with it if you want.
I mean, I
Get
think
rid of
you.
the Tog Waggle to follow up if he decides not to clear, or just Swashbuckler. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see the Swashbuckler. So yeah, this way you can Vendetta and walk the plank, kill the both Flesh Shaper and the Batterhead.
We'll leave the spirit up, which is big for Itachi.
Yeah, he can Spear the Murlocs here and potentially. Oh, he can even zap if he wants to try to find that evolve again.
Yeah, the evolve's doing a lot less here without the Mogus on board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think Itachi committed too much with the 2 Mogus? Knowing
No.
No, I
No?
think maybe the order I didn't like as much,
Yeah.
but I think it was fine. So he's running the double Lightning Storm. So I think this is I've seen this list for sure. I've seen lists that also run a Plague of Murlocs instead of Lightning Storm number 2, which is good into like Priest and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
Because like the biggest thing with that not being an overextension is like it really only gets punished by a random like walk the plank or assassinate there.
I mean,
Or-
he
or
could
like
be
a sap.
or a sap, yeah. So
Yeah.
and if he hit the evolve, it would have been very, very good. So
Absolutely.
he missed the it twice, so he lost 2, like a 50-50, and then he lost a 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Although with the order that he played things in, he wouldn't have been able to play the second one or the evolve if he drew it on the second shot. But still, I think a little bit unlucky.
So
Interesting
many
choices here.
options.
I mean, if you're worried about another big thing, they run giants and stuff, so Siphon Soul.
Yeah.
It's not seem too bad. We'll probably see just.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
interesting.
Spirit.
I'm actually interested in that because I feel like you really want to be clearing board here. He's already
Well,
drawn most of his stuff, like the cycle stuff, right?
Well, I mean, like the big thing is that even if you're killing the sparks, they're still making 1/1s at the end. Or in the
Yeah,
end
but
of
you
the-
could have removed a full minion and had it
Yeah.
only with 2 minions rather than what ended up happening.
Well,
which
another,
was-
oh boy,
Here's the
There's the evolve. So now this board is going to be very, very sticky.
I'm gonna choose. Yeah, definitely
And,
I like this.
and something to keep in mind here, he's actually at 5 mana next turn. If he can't remove enough of this Bloodlust
Yeah.
is gonna do the job.
And I'm not.
I don't see enough. I mean,
No.
you can get rid of 2 of these actually with the Kobold Lackey and the hero power. You can get rid of the 1/1s. That's
He
why I
can do
kind of
that,
didn't like
and
that
he can
trade
taunt
there.
up. He can taunt
Yeah.
up with the Titanic like it too.
Yeah, I kind of didn't like that trade by Itachi. I kind of wanted to use that 3 damage instead. I know it's a little wasted damage, but it keeps your minions a little bit stickier. Now he's able to remove 2. Otherwise, he would have been able to only remove 1.
Put Togwide in here. Not gonna taunt up with the Titanic. I think that's huge.
Yeah, I think that's essentially 4 more damage to the face.
Yeah. And how much is it gonna be? It's gonna be
With
one,
he's
two,
going to be able to clear off this scout as well. He's going to be at
4
22,
15,
so it's
19.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15 plus 4. Yeah, 19.
It's gonna be 19. So he's gonna be on 3.
He's going to be on 3. So he's actually going to survive this, but still no good. Wow. Very greedy here. Very, very greedy play here.
Yeah.
Maybe he's hoping for. I mean, I think you just do it, right?
Oh yeah, I think
You
you.
just put him to 3 and say, "Can you remove my board again? I have a Lickum and
I have a
you know,
Lickum, I have a Sludge Slurper, which could
Sludge
get me something.
Slurper." Yeah,
I probably just have other stuff on my deck too.
yeah,
Yep. Think a bit of a no-brainer from Itachi here.
yeah.
And, like,
Yeah, see, that's why I didn't like the trade there. He was able to push an extra 3 damage the turn before. I guess it's the same because he was able to push 3 damage before, but he lost 1 minion, which was
Yeah.
no 1 minion was 4 damage rather than 3. So he actually lost 1 damage doing it the way he
that's
did.
not what Dante was looking for at all out of that.
No,
He was looking for probably like a Tyrion or something
yeah.
along the lines.
something, even Hogger or something like that.
And Malagos
He
definitely
can
could have been
taunt this
interesting here.
up. Like he can taunt it
Yeah.
up, right? This is a big thing to get through. So maybe he's gonna be able to get there, but
It's going to be a very
Finds-
close finish here.
yeah, finds the high health thing. So definitely still in it. I don't
Could
know what.
also could get very interesting if he can find an Eviscerate here. That's going to be a 14 damage Eviscerate.
Yeah, I mean, you're already looking at 15 on the side of Donde, so yeah, we're gonna have to try to figure out how to get through this. This actually might be enough with the 12 health taunt, or the 14 health taunt even.
Man, if only that Witchy didn't say friendly minion. You would
Yeah, yeah. I
evolve
think he
that
was
taunted up
looking
Malagos and
for a spell lackey probably, or
probably.
something like that to maybe get a
Perplexing.
silence or hex
Yeah,
or
I'm not-
something.
I'm not seeing a way Itachi
Can bust through that taunt, yeah.
probably best for him to trade all 4 of his guys in and then evolve.
Swiftly.
Yeah.
You throw the sea giant down as well before you evolve.
It won't change it at all.
It won't
Yeah.
matter.
But you definitely
I think he needs to move here.
yeah. Could also throw the lightning storm as well.
Looks like he did. Got the looking around lightning storm. Did he get the evolve down though? He did not. Oh boy. And a
Ouch.
sap pickup from Donde. That is big on the side of Donde.
Yeah, I mean this could just be lethal.
Leroy.
It's not quite.
Nope. That's what? 10, 19.
That's 19. Yeah. I mean you can siphon soul this if you want, and get rid of the 8/8. You don't even have to snap it. Yeah, I mean this is just a free Leroy. It's not something Whelps.
Hope for tight taunt dude. Can't remember
Yeah.
taunt. Nope.
Ethereal Lackey could just get you damage. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
any damage spell here just wins.
Yeah. Yeah, he just needs two damage.
Who goes there?
So we'll see. I think it's gonna have to be Bloodlust, I guess, off the top here for Itachi. Bloodlust number 2.
Yeah. If we're even gonna
I don't
see a
know.
bit of trading coming out,
Just one trade. I don't know. I didn't do the math, but I think that's gonna be it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. He would need a
I don't know what kind of
semi-miracle
evolves.
element evolve here. No, yeah, it's not even a semi-miracle. It would have to be
Wow.
Jesus himself coming down and saying, Itachi, you win this.
So Itachi with the 3 off, finding, Donde finding a big enough minion to taunt up and protect him.
I don't think the
That is
Booty
a
Bay
taunt,
bodyguard
but
is.
that's not going to be quite enough.
He just needs to rip it.
Interesting, he didn't want the 2
Oh,
drops.
hold on.
It's not going to be enough, right?
No.
But interesting, he didn't want to evolve the 1/1s as well.
I was just wondering that myself, how many taunts he might have gathered.
Victory is yours this
Yeah, I don't think it would have probably made a difference, but
Yeah. Man, Kartat Defender
No.
would have been, or was big there, but just wasn't enough.
just not quite enough. So yeah, with that, it's gonna have to come down to this rogue mirror, and we know that Donde still has a warrior available to him.
And Hunter.
So-
yeah.
So even if Itachi is able to beat the rogue mirror, it's probably gonna see the warrior come out next, and it's gonna be a very, very difficult match for him. Just short there with the shaman. 3
Yeah.
damage off. I don't know if they were, getting an evolve earlier would have made a difference. It might have actually, that early turn where he lost the 50-50 and then lost the 2 out of 3 to draw an evolve.
Versus Valera.
Watch your back. None can escape my fury.
And that broken turn we were talking about, it was nowhere to be seen. He did have the flesh shapers, but
Honestly, that pickup of the walk the plank by Donde there was probably just
Yeah.
game winning.
yeah, he didn't have a sap in hand. It got rid of a 3/12 that would have just destroyed any board he had a chance of making. Yeah, I think it started there and then it continued. A couple of good things in Donde's favor there, and Itachi just not hitting his rolls there for the evolves. So yeah, gonna be the mirror. It looks like Itachi's got a shark list here, so a little bit better into the warrior. Worse into the mirror a lot of the time, but we'll see if he's able to kind of get there. He did start with coin, which is significant. So it's not over for Itachi. He could definitely reverse sweep with this,
Absolutely, Rogue
but
is a very...
it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
How much is this worth to you?
So yeah,
Tempo underbelly fence.
it's all about tempo here.
Wonder if we'll just see Itachi coin out a Blink Fox here.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, and we see a Nazoth here
much
as
is this
well.
worth?
This is interesting. What?
This is some spice.
Yeah, this is definitely spicy, and probably not as great in the mirror, but has some game into the warriors. So I don't think he's out of it. If he manages to get the win here, he's definitely got a shot.
Yeah. I'm just wondering what death rattles he's running to go along with that. If it's
I would
just the
imagine
traditional-
just card tut is good
Tut.
enough. Just 2 card tuts, you get 4 card tuts back. They're all maybe a Sylvanas or something as a rogue.
Sylvanas, maybe. I don't know.
But yeah,
Yeah, going down the dagger here.
Yeah. I'm surprised we didn't see the Blink Fox last turn, but
Yeah,
you know,
it would have been really good because not only are you dominating his underbelly on the board, but it allows you to play your own underbelly to trade into.
right, a 3/4 the following turn, along with potentially you know, maybe a card you find or
We do see Dante could start making a questing adventure here, and I mean, of course he doesn't know this, but we can see Itachi really would not have a way to answer it.
yeah, I think he's probably playing around Vendettas. He
Yeah,
you know wants to make sure
Vendettas
he can get it to 6 health if he can.
and then
5
plus,
at minimum.
yeah, and we really haven't even, or I don't think Dante's seen anything out of Itachi yet that would hint him. Of course, the Spirit of the Shark is not a standard Tempero card, so he might be starting to get an idea that this might not be the Tempero he was expecting.
Yeah, and it's gonna start doing a lot of work here. This Spirit of the Shark. He's got, you know, double discover the spell if he wants,
I
double
wonder.
draw. He's got double Cable Rat, double, you know, Reborn if he
Give me
wants
a
that.
clue.
Like, and I think Itachi or Donde saying, okay, well, you want to play a bunch of stuff that probably doesn't deal with my thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start making a thing that you can't deal with. Although if we do see a Vendetta off the top, that you can still double Blink Fox, double, you know, Ferrocat and Ethereal Lackey, whatever, and Vendetta. So
Vendetta will not deal with it though. You're
yeah,
gonna need a little more than just Vendetta. But definitely double discover a spell is playing into both removing the questing and
oh,
Excellent.
now Vendetta off this Ethereal Lackey. I think you start with that. If you find Vendetta or something like that, you are in good shape. Cold Blood also
Blood, yeah.
deals with it.
Yeah.
It has to be something you do, yeah. So that he's gonna, I think, opt for that. Cheap
shot
shot.
does as well.
Yeah, that's your whole turn though. If you cheap
Yeah.
shot, whereas if you backstab Cold Blood, you still have 2 mana to maybe draw 2 cards or you know, discover 2.
I mean, I think I'd probably still go with the
Yeah.
cheap shot here, just because the
Yeah.
other two are
I
not that good.
wonder.
No, the other 2 are not exciting at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe you find Kobold Lackey. There you go, and
You
then this
do. Oh,
Black
boy.
Stab Kobold Lackey. This is much better. Yeah,
oh,
this is great. And then you
Really
can,
just- you could evolve something if you want.
yeah,
You can
maybe
evolve the
this Cable Rat. Yeah,
You could even evolve the. Well, no, you can only evolve the shark to do a
5-drop.
No.
Oh no, it still goes off twice. I didn't know that.
Huh. I did not either.
I guess it before it evolves,
Oh
it
man.
lets the battle cries go off. So
Something tells me Dante might not want to sap this Karagwa.
it does. It's just backstab, right? That he gets back. It's not that bad. But it at least
Oh,
if
yeah, I
he
guess
plays it
you're
right
right.
away. But you know,
Yeah.
it does let him kind of combo. He knows he just discovered 2 spells and you know,
Yeah,
I
looks like he's
guess,
just gonna sap it.
yeah. I mean, he doesn't have too much else to do. He's kind of running out of stuff. He has done a good amount of damage, and he's got that Eviscerate in hand. But I mean, the current board just clears out most of his board. He's
Yeah.
Titanic Lackey can help, but
definitely will help him. Yeah, just gonna taunt up the 1/4. Fan and Knives would be big for Matagi. I can't say if he runs it or not, but
I mean, even double cheap shot Cold Blood can really get rid of most of this board. You cheap
Yeah.
shot. I don't know if it's aggressive enough, but
Togwaggle
Togwaggle
scheme.
So yeah, this can definitely have some game into that warrior.
Yeah, but he's gonna need to get there first.
Yes, yeah.
And
So
it's
yeah,
looking like this is gonna be
cheap
a very
shot.
close match.
Cold Blood.
And yeah, this is still gonna deal with a lot of it.
Most of it, yeah. Get rid of the lackeys and leave up the 2-1, I guess. Take that extra damage. You don't want him to get the Togwaggle.
No,
He
absolutely.
does have
not.
a lackey in hand though, so
Well, we're gonna see just more reload coming out from Dante, which is probably exactly what he wanted here.
yeah, absolutely what he needed.
Gonna start off by evolving a Cable Rat.
It's a brand new
3/3.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not seeing any of the removal or things like the you know, even just one Kartut or something could
Kartut,
turn
probably.
this matchup.
The touch of the void.
All right, not too bad.
Egg is, I don't think, what he was looking for.
No. So yeah, I mean, we're looking for a Kartut or something. I mean, you could get it off the Ferrocat as well if he doesn't draw it. It's possible. And that's a
Like,
6
looking
cost
for
one. He was
it.
able to play it. Oh! Oh my God! Oh wow! And this I mean, this Vendetta can deal with it, but he's healing. So he's gonna look for something like Sap or nope.
I
That's
think
not it.
exactly Sap, yeah. Well, I mean, Vendettas could deal with it, but that's still
Still healing
half
him
of
for
your turn,
6. Yeah.
and it's half of your turn. Oh man, Itachi.
Wow. And we're getting close to the point where he can N'Zoth this back. I don't know if he's going to make it there, if he can draw his own Kartut. He's definitely getting there. He's choosing to use the fan, maybe draw into something. He's going to be able to push 9 here, put him to 5, so...
Still not. Dante's
Still going to be very hard, yeah. Backstab is not what you want to see.
Blink Fox. Wagglepick not doing it.
No.
Well, you're probably gonna have to like backstab, eviscerate. But even that we can see is not enough.
Yeah, and that's going to be it. Wow. Almost able to get there, but just not quite. With this Eviscerate in hand, it's just going to be lights out here. Almost able to stabilize again. That's 2 games in a row. He was so close, but just not getting there. And I wonder if that early turns there where he chose to not coin the Blink Fox sort of set it. Could have cost him, just a little bit of damage here or there. That's a 3-0 to Donde, so looks like the DIGs are still in it. It's now, I know you're playing in a little bit here, Ted, so
yeah,
you have the chance to close it out. So we'll have to hear back from you after your match to see how that goes.
It's going to be Chewbacca playing at 10 in the 4-save matchup, and then myself playing at 10:30.
Oh wow! So it's going to be decided tonight, which is very
it's
exciting.
Guaranteed to be decided tonight, which is very exciting.
Donde's ready to join us.
All right.
Well, hey, Donde.
There he is, the man, the
I
myth, the rogue. How's it feeling?
Oh man,
Captain Basic.
That was stressful.
Basic.
That was really stressful.
Yeah, those are some very close games. I think the last 2 he almost stabilized.
Yeah,
both of
it
those.
seemed like
it was very, very close. That rogue that he brought was really interesting. I was curious to see what else was in there. I'm assuming he had Kartuts of his own, actually. That was a really good roll for him, obviously, but I think he was running. He had a N'Zoth in hand, so I'm assuming there were probably Kartuts in there. It looked pretty tech to actually beat the warrior as well, or have a chance. So if it managed to beat win the mirror, he still had the game to get there in the end against your warrior and your hunter. But yeah, very, very well played by both of you guys. Couple of things I think maybe I would have done a little bit differently on either side. I can't remember exact plays right now, but definitely, some really good choices you got in that second game against the Shaman with the walk the plank.
the walk the plank, and yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought of that as like counter for the Mogu evolve, obviously as it happened there, which was great that it is such a prevalent card in the meta that it's expected. That first game, I definitely felt like I played it really shaky. I didn't play it the way that I felt like I should exactly, but it turned out to work, which was nice. And it's, anytime you're playing as a player of his caliber, it's every little mistake is magnified. So I felt like if I made even 1 or 2 mistakes, it could end it. So yeah, I was fortunate to get out of that first game, even though I didn't think I played it very well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think his draw that game was not ideal. And then that second game,
For one of us.
yeah, for him, When I say that, I mean for him, it wasn't ideal. But yeah, I mean, game 2, even like he had with the frog, the Spirit of the Frog, he had like 2 chances at getting evolved there to make a really sticky board, and missed both of them. He drew both Voltaic bursts. He had like the 50-50 and then the 2 out of 3. A little bit of misordering there, I think, because he chose to Voltaic burst before playing the mutate. Because if he had drawn evolve, I probably would have wanted to evolve over Voltaic burst, and he only had 1 mana. But either way, didn't draw it anyway, so it didn't matter. But yeah, a little bit awkward, but you managed to have that walk the plank and then sort of stabilize from there, and it was lights out.
Yeah, the Malleys were just what the doctor ordered too. I needed
Oh,
something
yeah.
high health. I knew I had the Titanic Lackey in hand, so I was like, all right, even if I don't roll
A taunt, yeah.
a taunt minion out of this, like I can make a taunt minion, which is great. And then give me 12 health. That's the best you can find. So sure, I don't really care about the attack at that point. I just want to not let him get through. And I was hoping that his deck didn't run like a teched copy of Hex or something like that, Earth Shock, which would have obviously been enough too.
Yeah. No, I mean, from what we could tell, it didn't run those cards. He did have that last ditch effort to try to find that what's it called, the spell lackey, the
Yeah, oh yeah, that was also a very big concern since there's so much removal that he could
the
have plucked
shaman.
off
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah, it was almost more likely that he would have the option to have removal than to not. So that was stressful. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot that wasn't stressful about that, knowing that our season's on the line, and now I have to sweat out 2 more matches from the rest of my team playing tonight as well.
Yeah, well, you were able to keep it in play here, and make sure that we don't have Ted here for the next match. If you had lost, he would have been
sorry
able to
about that,
stick
Ted.
around.
Yeah. Thank you a lot for you say you're you say you're the content manager and you're just depriving them of my awesome casting. What are you doing, man?
I mean, I can replace you if you want this next game, unless you get somebody else lined up.
You want to stick around?
We did have a strategy early on.
Was I the strategy?
It was more of spamming you with turn your spectate on. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. The plan was to distract you during the game, so I taught you it would win.
I mean, mind games are great. I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yep, and you got through it. You beat the mind games, and you came up 3-0, which is really remarkable. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And to top off an amazing season, right? You guys are still in it. And
I would say I don't want to talk like that yet. I don't want to talk like that yet. Not to top it, to keep it going.
To keep it going, keep the season going. Absolutely.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
I mean, good luck. Nothing to say. I mean, no matter what, I'm just glad that we didn't get swept out and put up a fight. So I don't want it to end, but if the ride ends here, then we had a.
Yeah, and then plus, like for you, this is so much more than just a playoff game. This is against your blood
arch
rival.
nemesis. Yeah.
I would lose if it meant the team won.
Wow.
Could you?
What a man.
Taking one for the team.
Could you talk a little bit about that rivalry that you guys have? I know we've seen a little bit of it in the Discord, but
does anybody really know how it started, or is it the big mystery?
I don't. Yeah, I'm sure some people do, but I am completely oblivious to that.
I don't know exactly. I think it happened on one of the talk shows. It might have even been Last Hero Standing. I think Itachi said something to the effect of like, "I just want to have beef with somebody in THL." And then he, for some reason, was just like,
it was Saloon.
It's Saloon. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was. And then and he's like, you know what? It's gonna be Donde. Like I'm gonna start like throwing it at him in Discord. And I was like, say what? Okay, I can play along with this. And there have been times where I had to like actually DM him privately and just be like, yo, this is still a joke, right? You're not like actually mad at me about anything. And he's like, no, it's totally fine. So I've had my moments where I'm not 100% sure about it.
Yeah.
But yes, it is all for fun. And
I was gonna say it was 100% Saloon because I was sitting right there when it happened.
No, it's hilarious, and it's been one of my favorite like side plots of the season so far. So
listen, like not that I'm trying to take away anything from you two, but I don't know if you two could possibly top the Murloc Quirky Turtle.
Well, they'd have to
no.
they'd have to get married.
Yeah.
And my wife would probably have something to say about that. And it would probably be, "Thank you for taking him off my hands."
Yeah.
Oh man.
Absolutely.
Get him out the door.
But yeah, great win. One thing I did want to ask you is the strategy going in with the priest ban, leaving that shaman up. It almost backfired, but did not. You were able to kind of to find the decent matchup there and get the win.
So the two thoughts there was, I know Itachi is a prep monster, and I know he is going to be looking at every little thing that I do. And shaman bans are obviously the most expected almost 100% of the time. And generally the thought process is you don't ban shaman, you don't win, especially in Hero where shaman is such a good class that it can just sweep very easily. So I thought to myself, all right, I'm going to not do the normal thing and not ban shaman. So I'm going to try to find a lineup that works against not banning shaman. And if you've actually looked at my strategy throughout the last few weeks, I haven't always banned shaman too. So I thought that maybe he would pick up on that as well and not play, like a standard evolve or quest shaman. But I figured it was better to take that chance and go a little bit off the wall for him, because I know that he would have lots of tape, so to speak, on me. And I thought that was my best chance to avoid the obvious.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it definitely worked out here. Was super close, but you were able to get there with the rogue. Was that sort of what you were looking for? That you thought maybe he, I'd leave the shaman up, he's going to queue it first, and that's probably my best matchup into the shaman is the rogue. Or did you have another secret strategy into the shaman?
So in keeping with the theme of being very random, I haven't played rogue in like 4 weeks. So I figured I would bring that, and that would be maybe the least expected thing that I could do.
Plus play Battlegrounds prior to.
Yes, and lose horribly in Battlegrounds for Oh yeah, I picked Ragnaros and I was in first place and then went from first to dead in 2 turns and came in like 6th. So yeah, Battlegrounds was Yeah, but I mean, if I have to do that to win every week, I guess, I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's a good strategy.
Awesome, yeah. Well, congratulations again, and good luck to the rest of your team here.
Thank you.
You need those wins. Are you? I don't know if we settled on this. Are you going to stick around with us while Ted leaves? Is that something we're cool with?
If you need a
Saku?
replacement caster, I'm totally down for it.
We're good to go.
All right. Well then, for all the people watching, I am doubly sorry Itachi didn't win.
Why? Because they got to listen to Donde now.
That wasn't Donde.
Well, maybe we can bring Itachi in here, but he's got a match, I think, or he's got some stuff going on the go. So.
Yeah, and then plus, like, I know we try to keep it PG-13 in here, and y'all know if Donde and Itachi are in the same place, that's not happening.
Well, I guess a fun related thing to that is that we've been trying to set up a way for us to cast next season.
Oh boy.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah.
Oh man.
So it might happen after all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You guys could put that stuff on pay-per-view, and I would probably pay for it. That just sounds amazing.
There would be barbs back and forth, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Yeah, I think we have a little bit of time here. I think like 10 minutes until Yell Dart and JR are scheduled to play. I don't know if you saw the content updates. I know you're the content guy, Donde, but the next match that we have up that you're going to be casting with us now is Yell Dart of Dad Legend against JR Juggerlaw of Wet Boys, which is also another rivalry, as I did speak to earlier. Not as storied and interesting as I would say yours and Itachi's, at least not as much of the fun, trash talk and banter. Yeah, it's the nicer way to say that. In the Discord, but still, I think a nice little rivalry. So we got the two rivalries going on tonight. We'll see, who comes out on top.
I'm excited not only to see that, but also the fact that I already have both of them on friends list, so I'm ready.
Easy.
Nice.
Yeah, you don't have to add anybody else. Ugh,
You're all
just simple.
Right in my comfort zone.
All right, Ted, get out of here now. We got your replacement.
Wow. Okay, I'm kidding. I see how it is.
No. Good luck.
He's
Yeah.
upgraded. We've upgraded.
Keep us
Oh,
updated.
no.
Upgraded.
Uh-oh.
Saku.
We've got an upgrade.
Upgraded? Oh man. Sokka, I'm gonna be honest. I think that's the rudest thing I've ever heard you say.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
That's Canadian rude right there.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, that's. And he apologizes for it afterward.
Well, yeah, that's the
Typical.
Canadian way.
Yep, typical.
That's the Canadian
Yeah.
way.
But anyways,
He's gonna throw bagged milk at you until you leave.
I'm on board with the bagged milk. I think there's something to it.
And
You know?
Timbits, and definitely a bunch of Timbits.
I mean, those are just munchkins, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, for those of us who speak American, yeah.
Yeah, those are just some munchkins and bagged milk.
All right, yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna head on out. I need to
Good
have
luck.
a bit of prep.
All
I
right,
need to
man.
do.
Good luck,
Give us
kid.
some
See you, Ted.
updates as
Yeah.
they come in. Give us if we're still on the casting here, we'll update the audience as well.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, and I bet Donde will be getting updates as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna. Oh, you can also practice
Sure. Yeah.
Battlegrounds too. So then get your,
Do I have enough time to run another BG before we
No,
hit the next
no,
game?
Probably not.
I mean, if you plan on losing, then yes.
No, I plan on picking AFK and doing nothing,
perfect.
Oh,
and then winning.
Yeah,
For 2
perfect.
rounds.
Good luck.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, thank you guys. I'll see you later.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks again. Always a pleasure. Good luck.
See ya.
See ya. All right. So as I was alluding to, the next match here is Yellow Dart of Dad Legend, my team. I won't be playing favorites too much. We've got Saku and Donde here to keep me in check, but against JR Juggerlov, the Wet Boys. The classes for Yellow Dart. Let me pull these up right now.
Paladin, Priest, Rogue, Shaman. So yeah, Yellow Dart's got Paladin, the Priest, Rogue, and Shaman, and with Juggerlaw coming in with Druid, Priest, Rogue, and Shaman. So ideas on bands right off the hop. Is that a double
I
Shaman?
mean, I always just go with double Shaman, but you never know. Maybe there's something they know about the rivalry. They expect something different.
almost pick your poison too, right? It's either Shaman or Priest in that sense.
I think those are generally the top two, but
Yeah.
sometimes something lines up really well into what you want to bring that you worry about, and you're like maybe okay with letting Shaman maybe high roll you. You can maybe still sneak a couple wins into it. It is Legacy which is Conquest versus the Last Hero Standing, where you're less worried about those polarizing matchups or those decks that can kind of just high roll their way through, because if they get one win, it's done. I don't have to see it again. So maybe there's something else you'd rather not play against and lose to. So maybe you'd rather lose to a Shaman at some point than a Priest. Maybe you just hate playing that matchup. Who can say?
Speaking of
But,
winning, we have a fellow winner that's in here right now for their match. So, good old Dad Lenge, you pulled out a win versus Durgus there.
Yeah, that was earlier today. It was a long match. We both had some decks there that definitely go the distance with the Res Priest. And I don't know if you were watching the Discord, but we almost went to the turn timer there. It ended up coming down to, I think we both played very well, but it ended up coming down a lot to Hakar RNG, like Blood RNG. So very well played by him, and it was a pleasure playing against him. So feel good about the win, but definitely well played. But yeah, so we do have for Yellow Dart the Paladin, Priest, Rogue, Shaman, as you said, and the Druid, Priest, Rogue, Shaman. So the differences here is Paladin versus the Druid. So let's see.
I think if I'm Yellow Dart, I'm looking at that Druid naturally, since it is the least flexible class of the four, and probably the most eminently targetable. Because even if you do play like the Mali version of the Quest Druid, it's still that same shell and still targetable in a similar way. Like Token Druid would be the departure, but are you really terrified to play against Token Druid if you've got something like Priest? You can throw a Res Priest in there and hold the tokens at bay. Rogue should be geared up enough to handle that. So I think that you're not as worried about that, and I think you can target that Druid, and I think that's where Yellow Dart will have the advantage in this.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you there. I think Druid, as powerful as it is on ladder and in formats, open decklist formats, when you bring it in a closed decklist format like this, where we play you pick the classes first, it can definitely be targeted. still a powerful deck, and a lot of decks still struggle to beat it. But specifically that rogue sometimes can struggle, but it can still get there, and you can kind of choose stuff to beat it specifically, like you said.
Yeah, I think the real trick there with it is obviously there's a lot of different ways you can tech the end game, so to speak, with the druid. You can bring Nomi. That's a big option. Obviously, with Sathravar, now you have Sathravar Kun combination to give yourself a little bit of extra length at the end of the game. So there are ways to stall it out and potentially get you to that end game. Obviously, Elise is a possibility too. So there are options, and it can be teched in such a way that it's not as easily counterable as it once was, but it still requires you to get to that end game, which can be tough against some of the more aggressive decks.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree, and I'm curious to see what they decide to bring there, and what kind of druid he does decide to kind of bring, and what end game he's looking at. Although I will say, I think on the side of Yellow Dart, some of those end games might not be as successful depending on the brings. Like the Malagos, I think probably has better matchups overall into the spread that I'm seeing for Yellow Dart, but it is also a lot harder to pilot, and can be turned off a little bit by the Hakars and stuff like that. So we'll see if that which one of those he's going to bring. I do expect, like we said, the double Shaman ban. I'm just pulling up the matchups now. Just making a little chart. So keep talk. Don't they talk while I'm doing this?
You want me to talk? Guy who had no chance to prep because he didn't even know he was casting tonight is trying to dole out opinions on the floor.
Trying to fill in.
We're just waiting, okay?
I'm not usually the analyst role either, so you're asking me to fill a role that I don't normally fill, but that's okay.
I'd like to hear your opinion. I very much value your opinion, and I think it's going to be pretty interesting to hear from someone that, like you said, is not usually filling that role.
That's I can't be flattered any more than I am right now. So I mean, as I mentioned, I think I do agree that I think Yellow Dart has a slight advantage because of the targetability of that druid, and I'm interested to see. Obviously the Paladin's the flex point in Yellow Dart's lineup. It seems like there's a good case for it to be like a Holy Wrath Paladin here. It can still defeat any of the priests. Combo priests can still go off on it, but that. I don't think that's such a negative. I think that's very possible that the Paladin is strong into this lineup no matter what he goes with. Obviously, as we saw last game, Rogue gets the job done a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So
we definitely saw that.
Yep, that it just happens sometimes. Rogue does rogue things, and the draws can get you there against pretty much any class. So that should be fine on either side, unless we do see some of the heavier N'Zoth style rogues, which. We might, I guess. I could see the N'Zoth rogue on either side because you're trying to counteract that priest, but less likely on Yellow Dart's side with the druid hanging out there.
Yeah, I do think probably Temper Rogue is a little bit more dependable and consistent, and still has reach into even poor matchups. Sometimes you just find yourself aggroing your opponent down, especially since the Tempo Rogue recently has been using a lot of questing adventurers and Edwin and stuff. So there's enough threats that sometimes they just can't remove, especially a deck like Druid. They do now have a lot better removal for like one big thing. They have the Starfalls doing 7. They have the Surgers doing potentially 10 damage to one minion. But it does provide you a little bit more reach from previous iterations. But yeah, let's see. Do you know who are we specking first? Are they getting ready here?
They're still in where am I? I was just looking at JR to see where he was. He was still in a match. Oh, he's in play mode.
Yellow Dart's hanging out. Oh, JR? Come on. No, he's heading into play mode. He's probably just in the play mode screen. That's what I usually do before a match too, because the music isn't as loud. And like if I'm just waiting for my opponent to get on and I'm doing something else, I don't want to just be hearing the Hearthstone music over and over again without, actually be playing while I'm doing something else. So I could definitely see that. I think they're probably getting ready here.
I told both to challenge up and let us know bans and that stuff, but neither.
For me, I head into play mode because I'm panic checking my decks.
That's fair. I do that as well. As soon as they're on, I do that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
until they're on, I'm usually in the play mode.
Yeah, when my opponent's not ready to go, I'm like casually hanging out. And the second they say, "All right, I'm ready to play," I'm like, "Wait, I gotta check everything in the collection at least 3 more times. I gotta go into play mode to make sure they all show up." And one of them says ban. It's bad. It's like it's the same way that I need to make sure my garage is closed when I leave in the morning, and I usually get halfway down the street and turn around even though I know it's closed. I take it you can't relate. That's totally fine if
I
I'm.
was just trying to
the only
wrap
one
my
who's
brain
weird.
around that. It's like, okay, yeah, that works.
I mean, hey, my garage door has randomly opened in the middle of the night before, so you can never be too sure. Turns out that's a feature of the garage door opener when the battery starts to die.
Is that right? Oh,
Yeah,
I just noticed that you subscribed as well. So thank you for subscribing. I can say it to you directly
Yeah,
instead of
no problem.
to someone in the ether that's just watching. So
And that's
yeah,
good because
15 months.
And that's good because you got me off of talking about garage door openers, which is riveting to our viewership.
Yeah, I figured that was a good segue. As I was looking through the chat, I was just reading what Itachi was saying. So he did actually. It wasn't a 50-50 to draw Evolve. If we're like looking back at that match while we're waiting, he also played a Lightning Bolt. So he did also have a Lightning Bolt in there that he didn't draw either. That at any point in that game was, I think, lethal. Pretty, you were at 3 health. So just that drawing that Lightning Bolt could have gotten him there, but just couldn't find that either. But yeah, and then oh, he said he didn't expect you to ban Shaman. I don't know if you were reading the chat as well.
Yeah,
but-
I did see that, and I responded to him there as well. Yeah, I guess I didn't fool him as much as I thought I was going to fool him, but impressive nonetheless that he read me that.
Yeah, and it did show, I think, in some of his tech choices in those decks, but just not getting the draw he needed there, and you were able to capitalize on that and do well. So congrats again. I know we'll stop talking about that matchup, but I do have some updates here. Yellow Dart mentioned to me earlier that while he was prepping, he queued into JR on ladder.
Wow.
About an hour
What
ago.
are the odds of that?
I know.
It's pretty funny.
And I can read you a transcript of their discussion if you guys are interested. He did send me a screenshot here. So Yellow Dart started with "I will crush you," and JR responded with "What the actual," and asterisks
Hockey puck.
and stuff.
With
Yeah.
the actual hockey puck.
And then Yellow Dart, throwing a little shades. A nice Blink Fox Rogue you got there. Wonder what you might be doing with that trash deck later tonight. And JR just said, "I hate you so much right now." And this continued a little
Wow.
bit of just banter, in jest, in love.
Mm-hmm.
But he did say, Yellow Dart is trying to impress the viewers tonight. So look forward to some cool plays, hopefully, from both players.
I think that this brings up an interesting possibility. Obviously, I don't know how you guys handle it, but when I'm leading up to my match, I will typically turn spectate off, even if I'm going on going on stream, just that way no one can sneak into my games and see what I'm playing on ladder.
Yeah.
Is this a new meta where you try to actually snipe somebody and queue up against them
Yeah.
to see what they're playing?
I was.
Like, you can't be like, well, I mean, that's just totally random chance. It's not like I was trying to find out what you were playing tonight.
Yeah, nobody plays cards for 10 turns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely a strategy. It would mean that you'd have to be a similar rank at the very least. But hopefully at your seed, you're against players of similar rank, so the
I would
odds aren't
imagine so.
crazy unlikely. But I usually turn spectate off as well before match for that reason, just in case someone's snooping, maybe see something. I did tell Yellow Dart. I saw this later. I saw this about 30 minutes after it happened. But I was like, you should have just forfeited. You're giving him info, but I guess he also got info. So, give and take.
And we can even go the next level. We can say, I'm going to try to cube into you to play a deck to make you think I'm playing that deck, and then bring a
Right.
different version.
Oh wow.
That's just my mind is blown.
Wow,
Like
you're playing.
I-
You're
I-
playing like 4D chess, and we're here playing checkers, and you're just. I'm gonna queue into you on ladder with the wrong deck. You know, make you think I'm bringing something, then I'm bringing something else. Just
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
your mind's just melting.
if I have to lose with Mogu Warlock 12 times in a row on ladder to queue it into you, make you think I'm taking it instead I bring Zoo Warlock, then I'm doing something
That
also
sure,
very wrong at the same time.
sure, yeah, definitely doing something right. I don't know. I don't
It's
know
not
about
winning.
that, but it's not winning. It's certainly not winning.
It's prepping
did-
yourself for a loss, a possible loss. That's what it's doing.
Yeah, I mean that deck is definitely pretty interesting. That the Mogu Warlock. I've seen it a
Mhm.
couple times. It's one of those fun memes that you like to see happen. It takes maybe 10 tries to get it to work, but when you do it, it's pretty fun.
Oh, I beat a Quest Shaman on ladder with it the other night, and I thought, like, is this what being a god feels like?
You've reached another level.
You've reached Brady level. Here you go.
Oh wow!
I think-
Look at that. I just noticed that you updated the picture there, and you have. A
I
nice
did see
picture.
that as well.
Aw.
Thank you. That was actually last Halloween, so my daughter was not a cupcake this Halloween.
No.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you were what, like someone who kisses children on the mouth, and
Yeah.
what is that?
I mean, she's a 2-year-old
Like a-
and my daughter, so it's not weird. But yeah,
No,
whatever.
well, you know, unrelated to your daughter. I'm just saying, you know, when I see Patriots, I just think of Tom Brady kissing everyone on, and that's just
How do you think he
It's
sucks
just a
up the
natural-
powers?
it's like Space Jam. He just
Yeah, it's like
that's how-
vampiric. Yeah.
it goes. He sucks it through the lips. Yeah, that makes sense actually. He's kind of vampiric. He hasn't really aged in like 20 years, so maybe there's something there.
All
Maybe
right.
there's something there.
Still trying to get the players to kind of do their thing. So
Yeah, come on, Yellow Dart. Let's go.
Yellow Dart's
We're waiting
on-
here. You got me talking about Tom Brady, and I'm trying to stall for time here. Oh, here we go. They are challenged up. I see them challenged up. Who are we specking first? Who's on the bottom for those of us at home?
Oh, we don't even have bands yet. That's the problem. He's
Oh,
We're still going through the motions of Juggernaut waiting for bubbles. Oh, sorry, Yellow Dart waiting for on his bubble. That's what it was.
Say JR's on that lawyer time.
Yeah.
It's always obstructing.
There's no rope when you're trying to bubble somebody.
oh, we did get Diamond actually in the chat wanting you to talk about the Patriots.
I just saw that, and I mean, I could just type in chat, or he could wait 10 minutes to hear me talk about the Patriots.
Oh,
either way.
he'll hear about it in 10 minutes. Yeah, so no
Okay.
worries there.
We can talk about it. That's fine. They're a good team. They're the best team.
No, not the
They may have
best.
lost. They may have lost the Ravens. That's not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Lamar Jackson is an MVP caliber player, and also carrying my fantasy team. So I'm happy about that.
Did you
'Cause I
play
tra-
him against the Patriots? the week that you
No,
had him?
no, I didn't play. So I try to avoid playing players against the Patriots unless they are absolutely like either elite or I have no other option. And I had the option of playing Stafford against that week instead. So I'm like, you know what, I'll roll that. There wasn't a huge point difference, so it wasn't like a big deal. But or maybe it wasn't Stafford. It might have been Garoppolo instead. I forget who I played. I lost, so it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, that was a rough game. I'm not surprised though. The Ravens are good.
Yeah, they're doing great things this season for sure.
I mean, it wasn't a great look for us, but it wasn't nearly as bad as Myles Garrett clubbing a dude.
Yeah,
with
I
his
was
own
just
helmet.
about to. I was just about to bring that up. If you watched the game last night,
Oh.
since we're talking football, you know this is Friday night fights, but you know we're talking sports, so that's fine.
You know, it's a type of fight. That was a fight last night.
That was certainly a fight. I mean, it looked like Rudolph was trying to tear off Myles Garrett's helmet, but that reaction and the way he handled it, definitely not okay.
No, that's not how you do it.
No, you definitely do not take off someone's helmet and then smash them on the head with it. Very dangerous.
In fairness, maybe he was just trying to put the helmet back on his
Right.
head. Like, hey,
and just
you lost
missed.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
here,
you
have
know.
it back. Yeah. Yeah, give him the benefit of the doubt, right? I'm sure that was what he meant to do.
What do you guys think bands are? Off topic. Sorry.
Shaman times 2 would be my guess.
Yeah.
Please
How's
read
that
chat.
sound?
Please read
Please read
chat.
chat. Okay. Oh, we did another one of these. Okay.
All right.
So, JR Bans
JR is a
Priest.
man after my own heart.
All right. All right. Interesting. I mean, I don't dislike it. I think those are the two top bands, but we'll see how it works out. Maybe he
Yeah.
feels good about this druid.
I was kind of
into
surprised
shaman,
myself.
I don't know. I feel like it's yeah, we'll see how that works out. Interesting. Okay.
Just gonna get
Cool,
the
so-
guys to start rocking and rolling here. So
Yeah. I also have an update on the matchup this week. So Dad Legend now with Starlax finished his match against Matty Ebbs, and he was able to get a 3-0. So we are up 8-2 as Dad Legend.
So this
So
could close it out then for you.
Yeah, a win here could potentially close it out. So definitely rooting for Yellow Dart personally, but I'll be as unbiased as I can.
so we're gonna spectate JR first.
JR first, okay.
Yep. So JR is
Got
gonna be
it.
on the bottom, and Yellow Dart is gonna be at the top.
Okay, perfect. That's how it was set up last time, where Itachi was on the bottom and he lost. So this is working out. This is perfect. Good call.
Or I put Donde up there to win. One of the
Yeah,
two.
yeah. All right. It looks like we are in. Before we jump in, what do you think they're queuing in first? What do you think's going out? What's the first
I
deck?
mean, Yellow's got to be bringing the shaman first, right?
Your
Yeah, I definitely would not
The light shall bring
dislike that,
victory.
but ooh.
Rogue, all right.
All right. So we do have. Yeah, it looks like Tempo Rogue, and I would have to guess
Res Priest.
Res Priest here, yeah, for JR. So, I think a tough matchup for the Rogue, but definitely still winnable.
It's a race at that point, I think, isn't it?
It really is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you want to get that damage in as fast as possible as the Rogue, tempo out very well, and unfortunately that Mulligan taking Leroy and Togwaggle off the top instead is very poor for Yellow Dart. He does have the Pharaoh Cat.
But definitely not the start he wants. I did have a spectator bug here, so I'm going to jump right back in.
He fortunately did get the Candle Taker with the Pharaoh Cat, which is going to fill out his curve a little bit better because he doesn't have an activator for that Miscreant he just picked up this turn. So instead of having potentially 2 or 3 turns of downtime, he's only going to have 1 turn of downtime, which is definitely nicer than it could have been.
JR starting to pick up some big mana cards, so it's gonna help down the road.
Yeah, I think if you get to turn 9 as the priest, you're usually okay. It's really kind of stemming the bleeding early on, and cards like this, Pain and Death, both of these deaths are going to be helpful.
Yeah, I think obviously as priest, like you said, you want to get to the end game, and if anyone has played like big priest in the past, you're used to just doing almost nothing on your first few turns, and that's.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious about the Shadow Word Pain there. There really wasn't a whole lot of advantage. Obviously, immediately the Candle Taker's still going to do damage next turn. It is now killable. But why do you think he chose to play the Shadow Word Pain there instead of holding onto it for a more direct?
Yeah, he doesn't really have anything to do with this Candle Taker now. I'm actually curious about that as well. Maybe just opting to use his mana rather than not. Might be better targets at some point,
Yeah.
but
I mean, he does have the Mass Hysteria in hand, so there is a chance for it to get taken out that way. But I don't know. You could always in later turns Mass Hysteria and then Shadow Word Pain after, and still get the same effect while also holding on to the Shadow Word Pain for something that might be a higher value.
yeah, I mean, definitely some good targets in the Rogue deck for it. Yes, we'll see. Yellow Dart might just kind of be tempoing this out. A 4/4 is hard to kill for the priest. This Mass Hysteria could get there, but not guaranteed here. Depending on where this 3-1 goes. And yeah, there you go. So the Van Cleef, the biggest minion, able to survive, and Death does not deal with that. So going to be able to keep kind of pushing a little bit, and more pressure here with this questing adventurer.
Give me a
Now he does have the card to go ahead and drop that next turn, still hold on to coin, and potentially get himself into the 9 slot in turn 8. But if we see Sap in hand for Yellow Dart, Cartoon can get hit by that, and he could just push a ton of damage with the questing adventure next.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to see a Sap come out here. I mean, he's wasting 6 mana, and you're still going to be able to push damage. I'm surprised we didn't see the Radiance here. I don't think that heal is going to do much, and 4 attack is still pushing that damage the same way. So,
what do you think about Sap Leroy here? Just let's push that damage now. That's going to be 15 damage, and put him on 3. And if you top deck an Eviscerate or anything like that, it could just be game.
I mean, you're also going to be able to push a lot with this questing if you just play a bunch of cards, and then your bunch of cards could potentially contest this Kartut coming down again if that's what he chooses to do, and then you can Leroy afterwards. So this will kind of give you, now he's sort of in this situation where he can either choose to death this questing or play Kartut again, and he's just making this bigger and bigger. I say just play more stuff, like you can.
Oh, at this point, absolutely play more stuff. You can backstab the Pharaoh Cat if you want. Radiance, obviously. Like, yeah, just go in.
Yeah. Yeah, so this I like keeping the cat around just because that Kartut's in hand, and maybe what he wants to do is play it to kind of keel 6 and taunt something up. So you might be able to kind of get through with the Pharaoh Cat. Mass Hysteria could do it. Oh wow, this is gonna be lethal. He's going to be able to actually trade the Van Cleef, the Pharaoh Cat, and his weapon into this, and then Leroy for lethal. And this Vendetta just makes it even easier. You can backstab Vendetta, and so that's going to be it. See if Yellow Dart sees it. Doing some math. He's hovering that arms. I hope he's not going to play that. Oh, okay.
Well, he can still play.
He can still do it. It doesn't matter.
Leroy.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Just the style points there. Getting that extra 1 damage. He's like, what am I supposed to do here? Let me think. Oh, no. Okay. All right. So quick win with that Rogue. I think that was the deck that he was probably the most scared with getting through, especially with that Druid. Now he might really be able to bully that Druid with this Paladin and Shaman.
Rogue 4-0 tonight, just saying.
Yeah, Rogue.
Actually, no, 4-1, sorry.
Right. Well, in a mirror, it's different. doesn't work the same way in a mirror. All right, so good start there for Yellow Dart. Let's see what he decides to queue up next. Knowing it's Res Priest, maybe he chooses to do that again. I kind of like just playing the Shaman here. There's no really bad matchup.
Yeah, I think Shaman is always the same. I mean, anything where you're not 100% sure what the archetype you're going to be playing against, a deck that is just generally good against it all is great.
All right, so I think probably just thinking it out here before choosing the decks. What do you think JR is going to do here?
Yeah, so it's just what to ask. Does he come out with Priest again?
Well, he knows that. So Yellow Dart's got Shaman and Paladin remaining. If he comes out with Priest and it's Holy Wrath Paladin, he pretty much just loses.
My blade
burns
with
Guess we're gonna find out.
The light shall bring victory.
Looks like,
Secret Highlander.
Yeah, and certainly what it looks like. So we'll see if this can get there into the Priest. I think it's a similar sort of story here as the Rogue. A little bit less aggressive, but
race to face. That's pretty much
It is definitely a little bit of a race, and you have a little bit of a higher tempo kind of minions and stuff later on. So you're not out of it if you don't kill them right away, but you're definitely looking for stuff to get rid of potentially sticky boards. I think I have another bug here with the spectate. Oh no, here we go.
Nope, there we go. I was gonna say, knowing that it's Res Priest, you definitely want to toss back the True Silver, and both your secrets are an auto toss back most of the time anyway. But he picked up nice low curve cards to really get on the board quickly and push the match.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be very significant here. Choosing to play the Glowtron first for the higher health total. Maybe your Secret Keeper, you draw some secrets and make it a little bit scarier. And this Sir Finley, it could do some work. Maybe we see the Hunter Hero power come out, which is really good in this matchup.
Ooh, the secret pickup, interesting. That makes the Secret Keeper a much better play, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially with that secret being the secret that was picked up.
Avenge is great in that situation, yeah.
So a lot of slow cards. I mean, this Infiltrator's gonna do some work here in 2 turns. Make it a little bit difficult, but there we have the Mysterious Challenger. The draw a bunch of stuff from
And
your
we're gonna
deck
see
and-
both come down, I think, too. Micro
Yeah.
Mummy and Coin. No,
No, he's
hold
choosing to maybe hold back for the Coin Challenger on 5, maybe.
That's fair. I can definitely see that being a decent play here, because now he can use the Finley and Hero Power next turn. But that was a good top deck for JR to get that Shadow.
Yeah. Just gonna say.
And
There's a
there is the
Ballista.
Ballista shot. I think we're gonna see that.
No doubt about it.
And I like it. Going face.
Pew pew.
He has options here. He's got
Oh,
the
that's-
Ziliax. He's got
That was an
the-
unfortunate hit, though. I don't like the Micro Mummy buffing the Glowtron into 5/5 territory, but the Forbidden Words, I guess, makes that kind of
Yeah,
useless.
he didn't have the death, so it worked out okay. You can actually maybe even see the double Snip Snap come out here. It's either that or the Challenger. It's hard to pass up on the Challenger.
Yeah, Challenger I think is still the better play here, since the Mummy is probably sticking around in some capacity, even if it is the reborn version of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So the only secret not on there is what we saw already, the Avenge and the Never Surrender in hand.
So Noble Sacrifice, Auto Defense Matrix, Redemption, and Hidden Wisdom are the 4.
Ooh, and Zephyrus, interesting.
Zephyrus would give you Spellbreaker here.
Yeah, just keep pushing that damage and not really give him an option here, but
I think he's going to opt to double Snip Snap onto the Micro Mummy.
yeah, just get yourself a stickier board here for something like the Mass Hysteria or yeah, I mean we don't see anything else in the hand right now, so
And of course, again, the downside here there is that it's
Yeah,
going to
now
buff the Mysterious Challenger and make it a Mass Hysteria problem.
but yeah, you do get the auto defense, so not the end of the world. And the redemption and you get the reborn one. So not a terrible result with those secrets. Actually, if he chooses to Shadow Word Pain one of these, like the 1/1 Mummy, this is lethal with Bloodlust. The Zephyrus
Bloodlust, or even just Fireball.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess just Fireball.
I mean, yeah. I guess I would have played Zephyrus first just to be safe, in case it did something, like beat a Ding Dong and not offering you Fireball, which could happen.
Yeah. Oh, not even gonna see if it messes up. The Fireball's there. The Eviscerate's there. There's actually more damage.
You can
with
style
Hero
out with
Power.
Eviscerate.
All right, so 2-0 start for Yellow Dart. Only the Shaman left. Imagine that. And it's Shaman, so it's going to be hard to beat it 3 times.
Yeah, that's a tall order.
With Druid, Priest, and Rogue, which are none of them are favorable. They're all Rogue and Priest can definitely get there, but it's very hard with the Druid without the right draw. And it is Malagos Druid, it looks like.
Yeah.
I must
Always love when the
protect
mulligan
Bohai.
shows you enough information to know the complete archetype.
Yeah, especially with Druid, where it's a couple of cards.
Oh yeah, we could watch 6 turns and still not be sure in a perfect draw scenario. Plus, obviously, if you're JR and you draw the high value cards that you don't want to keep, then you get to pitch them back, and you don't have to worry about them showing up in the second part of the mulligan.
True. Although Elise, not a card you really want to see just yet. He did start with the coin, which is definitely some points towards JR here. Not the matchup I would have expected to try to bring into the Shaman, though. I feel like this is your worst matchup left into the Shaman, but maybe he feels confident enough that he can draw what he needs. And we do have the hair evolve here.
I was gonna say that hair. I mean, that's coming down on 4, and we know. And right now, we don't see a particular answer in JR's hand that will immediately counter it. Starfall would be what he's hoping to draw, of course.
Yeah, and even Starfall, it's not active just yet to actually do quite as much damage to big things. And Hair Evolve usually has minions that are bigger than 2 health, so Nourish is a good card to pick up. But yeah, we're going to see that Hair Evolve, and we have the Bloodlust to follow up the next turn. So
the Crystal Merchant wasn't a bad draw, though, because it did give him further opportunity to pick up what he's looking for, but who knows what we're going to see here. Oh, that is dirty.
Wow, and the Houndmaster Shaw. The Patient Assassin not going to do too much, but he's going to be able to kind of, if he wants to remove this, he can remove it. Maybe I was going to say trade the 3/3 in to play around the swipe.
Yeah, that might have been a better option. But
we are going to see that, but it's still.
I was thinking if you're Yellow Dart, you might be sitting there thinking to yourself, oh, well, if he gets swipe, it doesn't advance the quest, but he also had Innervate. So that was kind of the worst case scenario for Yellow Dart.
Yeah, absolutely. But we don't see Starfall yet, so still he's going to be able to build the board here with the Thunderhead and the Voltaic Burst if he wants. Just set up for next turn Bloodlusting.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you have to do.
Just say, good luck. You know, you have to draw the Starfall here. This Nourish is not going to be enough to get the Starfall, enough mana to play the Starfall, so he has to top deck a Starfall right now. That's not it.
It's going to have to be Lodi, but that's not enough, I don't think.
Yeah.
Trying to do the math real quick. That's 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's enough. That's lethal.
That is certainly enough, and with the yeah, that's going to do it. I think just double checking the math here.
Yep.
Making sure he's got it.
It turns out Shaman is really good.
Yeah, and he gets that 1/1 to trade in even to. Yeah, and that'll do it. That is 3-0 for Yellow Dart. Wow. I mean, I can't say I'm upset about that result personally, but it didn't feel like JR had too many things that he could do in those matchups.
Yeah, that's definitely not the way you'd like to see that series go if you're JR.
Nope.
And yeah, that's frustrating to say the least.
Yeah, so we saw two different people decide to not ban the Shaman, and it worked out for one of you. I don't know if I would have played that Druid there. I think there were maybe some Q decisions there that in this in the semis you really want to get as many points as you can, right? And kind of queuing that Druid when you know Shaman's left, I feel like that's your worst chance. Maybe he was saying, I want to win with the Druid at some point to win this match, so I want to get it out of the way, but it's just it's such a difficult matchup.
Didn't we know that was it Starlax defeating Madiebs 3-0, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So knowing that, then he knows he has to win the series regardless. So maybe he's just kind of saying, I'm going to cut to the quick and play the Druid. If I don't win with it, I'm saving myself the agony of playing 2 games just to win and lose game 5. That might have been the decision making there. It's all I can really speculate.
Yeah. How you doing, Yellow?
Doing good now.
Yeah, feeling good. Great, good play out there, man. Proud of you.
Cards, we believed in the heart of the cards, and they were there.
Yeah, as turd spams in our chat there. Heart of the cards, and it worked out today. So I think that, like we said, that will be our win actually against the Wet Boys for the week.
Yeah, and I'd like to say, as yesterday's guest, so far, all of my predictions have come true. We are 3 out. Only Turd and Zabe have to hold up their end of the deal to make me look smart. So we'll see.
Yeah, the 1 week I don't, project all of us to win, this happens, right?
I also point out I got the upset pick of the week with my Onodon here.
Yeah.
Honestly, had probably the most impressive win that we'll get this week.
Yeah, win over Daravis is always impressive, no matter what series you're playing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you feel, man? That was you did the thing. You hit him in the face.
We hit him in the face, which, like we said, we were gonna do. Yeah, it feels good. I mean, let's be honest, though, like getting to the finals is not the goal. Winning the finals is. So this is just the next step. So
Yeah.
happy to do it. Happy to help the team, but we got bigger goals.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and it could be anyone still. I think Taplas and Noyo are neck and neck right now.
Yeah, I'm sure
Noyo
that's gonna
slightly
get
in the
under
lead.
wire, and I think it just goes to continue to show how strong the Red Conference has been, all year and continues to be.
And even though we lost a lot of those cross conference matchups during the season, we're doing things here now, and I will say we did beat both of the teams we might be playing against, so they're going to be looking for revenge. So we'll see who we actually end up against, and hopefully we can get there. But let's hear a little bit about your thoughts of the match. Did you see what you expected to see on the side of JR? Did anything surprise you?
Yeah, a lot of surprises actually. I was surprised he banned the priest. That threw me off, honestly, because as much practice I had done, I hadn't practiced as much with the shaman as I probably should have. So that really did throw me off. It threw off my Q order a little bit. But I mean, I think I got the rogue into the priest, which was nice. Paladin into the priest probably wasn't ideal. I was kind of hoping he'd queue that druid up then. He didn't, but we just got off to a really hot start, and the secrets were there that we needed to continue to push.
Paladin was pretty impressive with the start that he had. So
it really was. The magnetic was pretty great. And then that last one, he was actually probably pretty close to stabilizing. That swipe he got was really good. There probably was a better way for me to play around that, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think some of those trades maybe. Yeah.
But I kind of went and said, hey, I'm gonna play to my outs on turn. I guess it was turn 5, and said, look, hey, he just played the swipe, so maybe my bad trades were actually good because it baited the swipe out. I got to get super wide, banking on no second swipe, which set up a pretty nasty bloodlust, and I think I ordered that right with the zap first.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
So, I think I played well overall, but I mean the cards were there. I was just trying to not make a mistake like I did last time on stream.
Yeah, I think you played it very well, and you picked the right hero power. You picked the hunter hero power there. You got the aggro one.
No other option. I think I did that last time too.
Yeah, and definitely seeing some lethals that maybe I saw it a different way, and you played it a little bit different, and I was like, wait, and but you got there. I know
with the rogue, I'm going to try to overkill as much as I can.
Right. Yeah, that definitely. I did remember that. I know you were doing some math there, and we were like, he has it? Is he gonna
counting how many extra I could get? And a little bit of a fun story for anybody that's still on. I was practicing some of these decks on ladder beforehand, and I think JR was too. I don't think he would mind me saying this, but we queued into each other on ladder.
I mentioned it, and I read some of the transcript already.
Oh, okay, great.
But I want to hear from you. Yeah, you tell
so I mean, and the funny thing was I accidentally queued one of the decks that I didn't actually end up bringing. So I brought a lot of false information into our pretend ladder match.
I told you guys. I told you.
You did. You ciphered it out.
It's hilarious.
So I baited him into the other rogue deck that I had built, and I beat him, but I wasn't really about that. I was talking trash the entire time. I really could have been set up to look really dumb after all that, but luckily the cards are with me tonight, so I don't look as dumb.
Yeah, and really coming into your own here as the season is picking up here in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would say I am a better player when I play more. My ability level is directly correlated to the amount that I play, and so we've played the last couple weeks and do a little better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how I gave you a lot of this this prep and stuff for the priest, and then giving you all this info, typing
was
like
all I was thinking about,
walls
how I was gonna-
walls of text to help
walls
you with
of
the
text,
matchups.
Playing a thinking deck for the first time ever. Really trying to put my big brain on, and then
And then he says,
JR
"No,
helped me out, and it was like,
Yeah.
no thinking for you.
no big brain."
Just please hit my face.
Isn't that the best?
That's the best.
Doing you a favor there. He knows what you like
Yeah.
to play. He let you
Yeah,
play
so
it.
I
He wanted to beat you at your own game, and
He did, and it's honorable of him to do that. I would love nothing more than someone to come at my own face, and just trade with each other's faces and never look at our own health. And that's kind of what we did.
yeah. And this time you came out on top. So definitely.
JR forgot about one thing though, and that's hair evolve.
Hair Evolve is strong.
Hair
It's-
Evolve is
It's
certainly
real
good.
good.
It's particularly good when you roll Houndmaster Shaw. That's
that was
probably nearly the nuts.
and I probably traded. I mean, in hindsight, I probably traded about as poorly as I could, and it was still broken.
It's just a very good combo.
It's like that combo is almost idiot proof, which I
Like
proved
that, if obviously you didn't have the Mogu, so you didn't go completely overkill on him, but
No.
I don't think obviously you didn't need it. I was worried about that rogue game for you. It looked like a slow start, but the Pharaoh Cat helped you out tremendously by giving you a playable card on turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. And the other thing I was kind of questioning was like, is this right to backstab my cat just to get the what are they called, the lackeys going? I think it probably.
I think it was.
I think
Yeah,
it
I
definitely
agree.
was, Yeah.
I think so.
I thought about making a bigger Edwin, but then I was like, I don't want an easy death to come out on that. And I knew Mass Hysteria was out there, but I thought like, hey, there's only a 1 in 3 chance that the right trades happen to kill the Edwin. So like I felt okay about that, and that actually worked out the way I thought it might. So that game actually felt like the most comfortable for me, and maybe it's just because I like Rogue.
Yeah. No, I definitely
Yeah, I
was
think
going
you
to say
navigated that well.
that 4/4 Edwin was really good.
Yeah.
And then I do think there was one thing I would have done a little differently was when you played the questing, you only kept it at a 3/3. I would have just played that last card and made it a 4/4.
Yeah, I thought about that, and I think what I was, and maybe this was wrong, but in my head, I thought I was playing around a second Hysteria at the time.
Well, it was a 4/3 and a 3/3, so it was cleared
So it
either way
didn't
with
matter.
Hysteria.
Okay, so
It
then
didn't matter, and
probably
then he
wrong.
would have been able to
I
pain.
should have just played the 1 drop heal my face for.
Yeah, you could have healed the Edwin even. You were full health, so the Edwin would have been a 4/4. You would have had a 4/4 questing.
Okay, so
Um,
probably I should have looked at what that card did. I didn't really know what it did, to be totally honest.
I think it's just heal 5. If it was just face, then either way,
I
it's
thought it
still
was
4.
for face, but
I don't even know
I
what
don't
that
really
card
know what-
was.
I don't know what
I
card
didn't I didn't really look too in depth at it. I said heal for whatever, and I
something
thought,
heal. I didn't think that
yeah.
was useful. So
yeah, it says heal. It doesn't say
what is
deal
heal? It doesn't
damage.
do face damage.
Right. All right. Well, congratulations again.
Thank you. Congratulations to you as well.
Oh, thank you so much.
So
And,
much love going on right
So
now.
many- Congratulations to everyone. Like,
congratulations.
great job, Saku.
Great job, Donde.
Who else-
You
who else is in
won
here
tonight as well.
Donde, you did great.
It was Ted's not back yet, so maybe we can, if we hang out long enough, Ted
And
will be back.
I would say not only did I win tonight, I got to cast with my Anadom, which I love.
Oh,
so that
yeah.
that makes
Oh,
me
that's awesome.
makes me the ultimate winner.
Oh,
in
man,
my
this
own
is-
heart.
This is the nicest conclusion to a Friday Night Fights we've had in a while.
Yeah.
Just
On Sunday,
love
you're an
that
Eagles
everywhere.
fan, and the love goes away.
Yeah, well, we won't talk about it. We can talk after the game when you're upset and I'm feeling great. But
Well, since we're talking football now, I'll use this platform to say UGA is going to take the Natty, and the Raiders are going to the playoffs. Everyone, write it down.
Oh God, I work with a Raiders fan, and I've had to listen to this all day. Why do I have to listen to this again now?
You guys laugh, but go look at the schedule when you go home. They're going 10-6, like no problem.
This is essentially the exact same argument I heard
No
all day.
problem.
Again.
And then John Gruden wins Coach of the Year. And
Oh,
everyone's great.
God. No.
Oh boy. Oh no.
So, 49ers? You guys get predictions for that?
I mean, the Seahawks will take care of them in the end. It's going to be fine. It doesn't matter.
They're gonna buy. They're gonna buy, no
They're
doubt.
going to buy and they'll lose. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's buying them, then they lose. But yeah, again, thanks for everyone watching. And appreciate you, Donde, for sticking around, helping
glad
us
to be
out
here.
here.
And just one other shout out to Desharmo. We'll give you one more chance to switch who you're going for in the finals to ourselves, whether or not we play against you.
Right. You have a chance to,
We'll give you one more chance.
to vote for us, even if we are playing against you, which it can happen. Right now, they are down 6-9
Oh, wow.
with 2 matches to play. So it's really, I think they have to win both of them, I believe, for Tap Last to move on, or a Noyo team just needs to win one of the remaining 2 matches to win. So, yeah, coming down to the wire for that one. And also your match in Hero as well, Donde, right? Your team needs to win the next 2.
We so Anfall is playing right now, and then Jammies is either starting right about now or has already started. So with my sweep, if Anfall at least gets it to, if he loses 2-3, then it will be 9-12. In which case we could sweep with Jammies and win by only taking 2 of the 3 games. So it's a very, very corner case, but Anfall could lose and we would still be alive if he gets 2. But I hope that doesn't happen. As far as I know right now, Anfall said he was down 2-1, and I haven't had an update since then. Correction, it's now 2-2, so we are at least alive into Jammies.
All right, yeah. So you said yeah. If it's 2-3, so Jammies gets a sweep. So yeah, still alive into the.
Or if Anfall wins, then we don't need the sweep. We just need a win.
Right.
So yeah,
exactly.
Either way.
Yeah, but you guys are still alive with that 2-2 right now, so that's going to be exciting to hear about. Keep an eye on the Discord probably, and obviously the TeamHearthLegends.com. And you guys can see updates on that. But I think that's it from us here. Do we have any announcements for the weekend? I think we have Saturday Schoolstone, but it's going to be a Sunday afternoon.
It's going to be Sunday afternoon, and then the Brushy Tuna match versus Shiny Pants. If that does come down to that game, since that's the last one being played, they agreed that they will play that on stream on Sunday night. So that will be available if necessary.
Okay.
And what is that in? That's in. It's also.
That's Hero, a Dude versus Tan Pam Surf Slam. So that's the opposite match of Biggs versus.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that one hasn't. We don't have any results for that one.
That is straight up 0-0 right now. So it's still anybody's game.
Awesome. Well, yeah, keep an eye on the Discord for more information about those. And thanks for coming and joining us, and thanks for everybody on the casting bench today.
Cool.
And yeah, good night.
Have a good night.
Hey, ready?
You require my assistance?
Guys, don't say anything. He's playing us out with music.
Till I end this.